So here is my self-kindness practice, the 7 steps I use to transform my internal emotional and mental state. Step 1, clearing. To begin, I pause my thinking with 3 deep abdominal breaths, placing my mental focus on my belly. This breathing and focus allow me to let go of the thoughts in my head and concentrate on the physical sensations of the breath. It short-circuits my mental chatter so I can give myself a clear space, a gap, where I can begin to choose different thoughts. It's a basic meditation breathing technique, and I'm going to post a separate video with a super quick workshop on abdominal breathing in case that would be helpful to you. Step 2, create an image of compassion and find the feeling. Imagine a single precious image that symbolizes compassion and love to you. It could be anything that reminds you of that feeling, a lotus or a rose blossoming in your heart, a place where you felt deep peace, love, and compassion, a beloved pet, or a look of love from a dear best friend, a family member, something like that. If you have difficulty with visualizing, then get an actual picture to look at for a moment to remind you of that feeling. I continue breathing several more abdominal breaths while I pull this image up for myself. Doing this further resets my thinking. It also gives me an anchor that I can easily recall during the day that's associated with this whole practice of self-kindness. So when I think of this image, it helps to instantly pull me back into the feeling of self-kindness, compassion, and love. Step 3, ask the question. What would my truest, best friend ideally tell me to support me in this situation with kindness and love? What would I tell my own best friend ideally in this situation? That's it. Those are the questions to ask from whichever perspective feels best to you. So ask yourself this question and allow the answer to come to you. Step 4, speak words of self-kindness. I say things to myself mentally, but it's okay to do it out loud in a safe space if that's what you prefer. The goal, again, is to be your own best friend. I tell myself all the kind and encouraging things I would say to someone else that I really love and I want to see succeed. Use an internal voice that is supportive and encouraging, not indulgent or permissive, just genuinely kind, with the highest possible degree of love that I can muster. You can even imagine the voice of a loved one speaking these kinds of words to you. It's different than an affirmation. It's more conversational and directly speaks to whatever the situation is. There's also a self-soothing technique I sometimes add where I place the opposite hand on each shoulder and stroke down my arms, like I'm giving myself a hug and comforting myself. You know, it feels kind of vulnerable to even talk about doing these things, which is interesting to me. I think I still have some internal resistance to being kind and gentle and supportive of myself, which just means I need to keep doing it until I know that I deserve it and that I'm not letting go of self-discipline or being overly indulgent with myself by treating myself with compassion and kindness. Step 5, gratitude. After doing the previous steps, I allow myself to feel good, to be grateful for the kindness I showed myself. I let it fill up my whole being. Now, from this new perspective, I can usually keep going and make the best choices from those available to me that are most aligned with my long-term goals and vision. Step 6, revisit the state of kindness. Throughout the day, I dip back into this state whenever I become aware of negative self-talk, get triggered by negative news or something difficult happening, or When I find myself wrestling with choosing a comfortable but bad habit versus choosing a healthy new one. And step 7, anchor the practice. To anchor the practice as a whole and ensure that I do it every day, I'm attaching it to my morning rituals, which include the successful exercise practice I've managed to develop into a habit for the last several months. So find an anchor point in your day that will allow you to take 5 minutes or so to do this. It also helps to write about your experience with the practice in a journal, so consider doing that as well. It doesn't take much time, but it is time well spent and that can really change your entire day, your entire outlook.